What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the BenchWire podcast. Before we begin, just a quick update. Podcasts are going back to, I think, 25, 35 minutes. The long podcasts were fun, but we've kind of noticed, A, we don't have enough time to record everything we need to record in the Willard building. We just wanted to quickly update you guys on that. Also, if you guys enjoy this podcast, please consider subscribing. It's free, so, it'll help us get discovered. So, this week of football was pretty insane. We've got a lot to cover. But I think the most important thing that needs to be said is that we are not in the Willard building, if you can't tell from our microphone or whatever you want to say.
We got the best microphone. It's right here.
It's my iPhone. But you know what? We're in the Guadalupe building.
Guadalupe.
Yep, we're in the Guadalupe building. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Indeed.
Minnesota this past weekend headed into Buffalo and beat them 33-30. We missed the ending of the game. We thought it was over. I think, like most people also thought, Vikings got stopped on 4th and 1. Kirk Cousins tried to sneak it in, and it didn't go in, or they didn't get in. So, pretty much when that happened, we pretty much left, and what we missed was Josh Allen fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line on what I guess is a sneak. We've still not watched the highlights to know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I did see that.
We just thought it was over.
Yeah, so Allen, he fumbled, and Eric Kendricks recovered it for a touchdown with 49 seconds left. Unfortunately for the Vikings, 49 seconds is too much for Josh Allen, and he went right down the field, and the Bills kicked a field goal to tie the game, which brought them to overtime. Minnesota went ahead, kicked a field goal in overtime, and then Allen threw an interception to Patrick Peterson that ended the game. So Minnesota is legit. They beat a good team.
Are they legit?
I think they're legit. I mean, the Bills were at
they were a
good
fumble away from losing, though.
Okay. And guess who fumbled the game away? The Bills.
But are the Bills legit?
Yes.
Are the Bills legit?
What kind of question is that? Of course the Bills are legit.
They lost 3 games now.
They're fine.
They lost to the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Vikings.
I think that they played well in every single one of those games from my memory. Or at least, we're close to winning one possession type game. I do think that the Bills going into the season were a little bit overrated. I think everybody made it seem like they were. I don't know. I guess they made them seem like they were the team that's going to go 16-0 and then undefeated through the playoffs. You know what I mean? Week 1, we mentioned the Bills. We said, you know what? I think they are the best team in the NFL. But that doesn't mean that we believed in that hype that everyone was giving them. But regardless, enough talking about the Bills. I mean, the Vikings, they have a roster that can compete with the top teams. And this is something that we haven't seen in the past. They've kind of gone to the playoffs with, okay rosters. And I'm pretty sure with Kirk, they've gone into the second round of the playoffs, I know they went to, San Francisco the 1 year.
I remember they beat the Saints, the Kyle Rudolph game.
Yeah, so there was that one, and I believe that then they went into San Francisco and lost, if I can remember that correctly. But, I mean, again, the fact is, I feel like with this win, we need to start taking the Vikings seriously. And, yeah, I think that they are a team that who's their head coach? Do you know his name?
Kevin O'Connell.
Well, he deserves quite a bit of credit. I believe all of their wins have been by one possession or very close.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year it seemed like they couldn't figure out how to win those games. But yeah, now they can. So
I did pick them to win the division, so I was pretty good at that prediction, but the Packers aren't that good this year.
All right.
Jeff Saturday time, right?
Yeah, it's Jeff Saturday time. So he wins in his coaching debut over the Raiders. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about this. It's been a little bit now since Sunday. It's been 2 days. Jeff Saturday tweeted that the Raiders look horrible on October 30th, and then 2 weeks later, he proved that.
Proceeds to beat the Raiders.
Yeah, so his last job or his last game as a coach before playing the Raiders was a middle school game, and he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally, a week or two later, he goes ahead and beats an NFL team.
Credit to Jeff Saturday and that coaching staff. That offensive play caller, it was his first week. I don't know his name.
I don't know his name
credit
either,
to
but
him.
I know that he deserves quite a bit of credit.
That proves that Josh McDaniels needs to get fired, but Mark Davis wants to keep him around. He said Rome wasn't built in a day in that press conference. So, I don't know. I like what Jeff Saturday did, but now he's got a tough matchup coming up this week against the Eagles.
Yep.
If he wins that game, then we start talking about did they keep him.
I think the biggest thing with the Colts is that I feel like they've, for a minute now, kind of lacked that head coach that you want to play for, the head coach that, kind of the players, I don't know, I mean, kind of like this year's Brian Dable. The players love them, and they want to play for them, and they give them everything they got.
Yep.
And you see that post-game speech, and it's okay. Jeff Saturday he's one of those guys, he gave the team the entire credit. He gave them all the credit. Yeah, he won the locker room. I mean, that's probably the best way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I also loved is that he gave Matt Ryan the start. The Colts,
he's the better quarterback.
I don't know if people know that. The Colts are not out of it yet. They are 4-5-1.
The division isn't that great.
Yeah, they can still turn this around. So Saturday came in and he said, no, we are not tanking. We are competing still. And he deserves a lot of credit for that, because I think there's a bunch of Colts fans that at one point were like, you know what, fine, let's just tank it out.
Matt Ryan's got wheels. Did you see that run?
Yeah, I think it was 29 or 39, something like that.
Dude.
Insane.
I think he's 37 now. He's getting up there.
He is. He's extremely old now.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on
to Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, moving on to the next thing. Cooper Kupp. This one hurts. Cooper Kupp had suffered an ankle injury, and he is likely out multiple weeks. The game, which had, two backup quarterbacks, John Wolford and Colt McCoy.
Giants legend.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those games where
it was rough to watch.
Unpredictable, rough to watch, and then obviously Cooper Kupp's injury makes it even harder for the Rams fans, obviously.
The Cardinals won that game, right?
They did. They won 27-17.
Okay.
So Colt McCoy able to get in there, secure a win for the Cardinals. We saw about a snap of Trace McSorley, Penn State legend. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to quickly, cover that. Let the people know that, listen, a superstar is injured and he's likely out for 4 weeks. We'll get to that. I have a whole injury list that we'll get to. I do have an update on Cooper Kupp, so we'll save that for the injury segment of the podcast.
Yep.
The Packers, they found a way on Sunday to beat the Cowboys. I think the rivalry is reborn.
The rivalry is reborn.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Watson, he shined. 4 receptions, 107 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
After the bye.
Yep. Aaron Jones, he continues to be very underrated. 24 carries for 138 yards and a touchdown. I believe he also had, 2 receptions for 19 yards, just to throw it in there, get a few extra yards in the passing game.
Legit. It's
I think
it's any given Sunday, and I think Aaron Rodgers, he's still good.
See, now this is... You say it's any given Sunday, which it is, but there are also teams where it's okay, they are going to win this game. And I tend to look at the Cowboys as a team where no matter who they have on their roster, for the Cowboys it seems to be any given Sunday, every single Sunday.
Yeah.
It's they should win this game, but they could easily lose it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what they're missing. I think a lot of it comes down to the coaching. I don't like McCarthy. I still don't think he's a good coach. I've said this for 2 years now.
I don't think he's a bad coach. He's
but
a
I
winning
don't think
coach.
he's a coach who adds to the team. He kind of just lets the roster do their thing.
He's a winning coach.
So,
I'm not gonna, bash on him for winning games, but he's just that guy that's not gonna take you to the promised land every year. He'll get you
pretty much what I just said.
He'll get you in the playoff contention. But yeah, he's not bad. He's just not great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just a touch on the Packers. They're so unpredictable. They really are.
Well, they're a young team offensively, like weapon-wise. Like, you got Christian Watson.
We'll see now with Christian Watson being involved, it makes me think, okay, did Aaron Rodgers finally have that
build
something
connection, chemistry?
Not even that, but did he have something snap in his head where it's like, okay, I actually need to start giving these guys a chance. I feel like with guys like Watson and Romeo Doubs, he would throw them the ball, but it wasn't really he was giving. It was one of those where it's like, okay, either the ball is going to be delivered perfectly, or you're not going to have a chance to make a contested catch. He's not taking the risks. He's not letting them make the plays. He's saying, I'm going to make the ball, or I'm going to put the ball where it needs to be for you just to catch it and start going. And I feel like, I don't know if I described that the best, but I know that people would probably understand what I'm trying to say. I think that this game, it finally seemed like he was like, you know what, I'll give you a chance to make the play. And it paid off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers, I know he had that post-game comment about Matt LaFleur, didn't really like any of the calls that he had at the end of the game there in regulation. Said
he didn't
pretty
want
much
to play for overtime.
Yeah, he wanted to keep trying to go down the field. And, I mean, for me, that sort of competitiveness from Aaron Rodgers, I feel like we didn't see that these last few weeks. So it's nice to see it come back.
Yeah.
Seems like he cares again. So that's a good thing for the league, though. The Bears. They had an epic collapse against the Lions. Justin Fields did continue his good play. Passing, these are his passing stats. 12 of 20 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then he had 13 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. So 4 total touchdowns. Unbelievable. He has been so good these last few weeks. I don't know. I mean, he had such a rough start to the season. I mean, people were calling for, a new quarterback or to start thinking about it, right? And I've always been it's way too early. I mean, this is his second year. Come on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with second-year quarterbacks, this, they have to start showing some signs of improvement in year 2. And Fields wasn't showing that. And so, again, people were doubting him. And it's just nice to see him finally come out and be slow down. I'm here. I'm good. Yeah, but unfortunately, despite his pretty good performance, Bears led the Lions 24-10 going into the fourth, and were outscored 21-6. So they lost that game.
Yeah, I don't know. Justin Fields has been playing better, but they don't have a great team built around him. I think if they build a team around him, maybe that can, translate into W's. But do you think Justin Fields' play, if he keeps this up, will this translate into wins, or is this?
It will translate into wins.
Or is these
because
type
they've been
of
competitive.
stats sustainable?
So the team
to win.
Okay, sustainability. I don't think their rushing yards are sustainable because teams are going to begin to play him differently. You look at Jalen Hurts in his first. I don't count it as his first year, but when Wentz was benched, Hurts came in.
His pre-rookie year.
Yeah, so Hurts was running a lot. And now we notice how last year and then this year, he hasn't rushed as much.
Yeah.
Because teams have not allowed him to.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like with Fields, teams are going to start playing him differently, and we need to start seeing how he's going to adjust to that. And that's going to be probably, in my opinion, ugly because he doesn't have the weapons to start sitting back and throw. It seems like Darnell Mooney can't create the separation. I don't know who in the coaching staff, wide receiver coach, whatever. Chase Claypool, I don't know why he hasn't been getting into the game.
One catch?
Something like that. I mean, it was just okay, can we get him in that offense? Let him play. You can learn and play. You know what I mean? You don't need to sideline him until he's ready to go in. he's a good enough weapon to just automatically go in. Tell him, hey, run a post route or something. Easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not a fan of how they've kind of done with Claypool since going there. And, so they got to get him some weapons, fix that O-line, and then I think it will be fair to start.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't. Shout out Cole Kmet, too. He's been really, really good these past few weeks. It feels like Fields finally found
You got to start him in fantasy now, right?
I do have to start him in fantasy. Yeah, I think, you need to start putting some respect on his name. I know kind of had a rough start to his career. Wasn't really involved. Now he is. Put some respect on his name.
Cole Kmet.
Yes, sir. All right. Buccaneers climb back to 500 with a 21-16 win over the Seahawks in Germany. Brady 2-0 since being divorced.
Goat.
Dog. Yeah, I mean, the game was rough. I feel like there was a lot of. I mean, both teams struggled at times. It wasn't a pretty game. That's the best way to say it. I mean, for example, Kenneth Walker, 10 carries, 17 yards. That's 1.7 yards average.
Yeah.
Bucs defensive line said, you are not doing anything today.
Mm-hmm. Akeem Hicks.
Had a good
stepping
game.
in there.
Yep.
Forgot he played for them.
Yep. Leonard Fournette, he was struggling. So guess what? They said, Rachaad White, it's your time. And guess what? 22 carries, 105 yards.
I think Fournette, he actually got hurt with a hip flexor or something.
That was late in the second half, though.
Yeah.
But White was the main guy. I think also because Fournette went into the game with some sort of lingering issue, I guess.
I feel like that was bugging him.
Yeah. He might have been, hurt physically, but mentally, he obviously wasn't right as well, deciding to throw across the field to Tom Brady, being covered by Tariq Woolen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It was like he was expecting Brady to, like, moss Tariq Woolen for a trick play. But, I mean, that was funny as heck, though. What are you thinking about the Bucs?
The Bucs? I think they'll win a division, and they'll make the playoffs, and they'll win a game or two, but they won't go all the way. But they'll have a decent year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people started to count them out, and I was like, okay, let's calm down now. It's still Tom Brady.
They'll still make a splash in the playoffs, but nothing like Super Bowl, I don't think. I don't think they have that team this year. They haven't been gelling, right? And Todd Bowles, I don't think he's a great head coach. He's a game manager head coach. Like, he'll try and win you a game, but I don't think he brings you to the next level like a Bruce Arians did.
Yep. Alrighty. So, going back to that Cardinals game, the Cardinals-Rams game, Cooper Kupp, obviously, like we said, he is out for a little bit now. Zach Ertz suffered a season-ending knee injury. Really unfortunate for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray loved Ertz, loved just kind of throwing it to him over the middle, let him be sort of a safety blanket. And we're going to get to see Colorado State's own Trey McBride. He was a second-round pick to the Cardinals. Pretty good tight end. I think he has a bright future. I am excited to see how he plays. Tight ends are one of those positions where I feel like coming into the NFL, there is an adjustment, obviously, but I think they're one of the positions that it doesn't take too much time to really, like, adjust.
Yeah.
Like, a corner would take, maybe one, or like a full season plus maybe another to really get going. But, like, tight end, like, you can come in and be a star right away, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at Noah Fant's rookie season, we knew he was going to be good. T.J. Hawkinson, really good. Dallas Goedert, first season, we were like, oh. So, yeah. I think Trey McBride could be a potential star. And so, Cardinals fans, I think that you should keep an eye on him. Just wanted to talk about that. That was just a quick little segment. Not much for, I guess, you to add on to.
Yeah.
It was kind of just, again, I if you can't tell, I'm, like, really into, like, the draft and stuff like that. So, like, I like to
prospects.
Yeah, so, like, I like to, put little, notes here and there about what to be looking at.
Yeah.
So, yeah. On to the next one. Probably the hardest one for me to read. The Commanders beat the Eagles last night, Monday Night Football. I think the best way to put this is that the Commanders are not a team that you can sleep on. They compete. They have really good players. I mean, Jonathan Allen, really good.
Dog.
No, Terry McLaurin, really good.
Dog.
Curtis Samuel, he's a great playmaking type guy. Then Jahan Dotson, he has a very bright future.
Yeah.
They've got a good 1-2 punch in the backfield. Robinson, and then Gibson. And then Heineke, he's a good game manager. I mean, he doesn't do anything too crazy.
It wasn't pretty, but he got the job done.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon, I just want to talk about this. I am an Eagles fan, so kind of like what Steve does when we talk about the Giants, I'm going to take maybe an extra minute just to kind of give my thoughts because I know that there's quite a bit of Eagles fans that watch this podcast as well.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Jonathan Gannon, his defense was abysmal. Played a lot of soft zones. Washington is not a team that you play a soft zone against. They have a lot of wide receivers that are very intelligent. And you have a quarterback, again, like I said, kind of a game manager who knows the holes in zones. And he will pick them apart. And he did. And there was just no adjustment. They just continued to play soft zone. It doesn't help, though, that Darius Slay was kind of struggling against Terry. Don't know if it was kind of, riding high, right? I think that was a little bit of an issue. I feel like the Eagles kind of went into the game feeling like they were entitled, feeling like they should have been given this win.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they saw the adversity, things started to collapse. I don't want to sit here and try to take away from what the Commanders did, but I personally believe that the Eagles beat themselves.
Yeah, they played a sloppy game, too many turnovers, shooting themselves in the foot.
Exactly, and the fumbles and
Quez Watkins.
The Quez one is
you could have won that game. I think
if Quez
didn't fumble it.
My biggest thing is with Quez with deep threat receivers. My biggest thing is look at Tyler Lockett. Look at Tyler Lockett. You look at any of his highlights and the deep balls that he gets thrown. He'll catch the ball and then he'll see like the safety in front of him. Guess what he does? He gets down.
Yeah.
He accepts the fact that he's not going to try to juke you for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. He said, let's just take the gain. And it keeps everyone healthy because he's played 16 games for as long as I can remember. And then, again, no fumbles. He does not fumble the ball. So I'm going to do a little bit of looking into this if I'm allowed to use NFL clips. But I do have a video of a bunch of times that Lockett will go down and other deep threat receivers just go down.
That's what you got.
I think that's what people should do. And Quez got up and he didn't secure the ball, and I believe it was Forrest came around the corner, punched it out.
Forrest is good, man.
Yes,
they got a great secondary, I think.
Yeah. So, I think that again the Eagles beat themselves, and then obviously again end of the game. Taylor Heineke, nothing was there. It was kind of the way that they described it was Terry McLaurin or nothing. Mm-hmm. If Terry wasn't open or didn't have an opportunity, Heineke was just going to kneel it. And he did. He kneeled it. Hassan Reddick was obviously running at him to try to get a sack. He saw him kneel, went ahead and took his weight off of Heineke, like kind of just fell to the ground and just tapped him. Brandon Graham, he was at kind of a more difficult angle to try to slow down on. It did look like he slowed down a little bit, but it was too much contact, obviously. Referee threw the flag. Heineke celebrated. Game was over. Kind of a stupid play from Graham. I haven't played football. You have, so I don't know. You could speak for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard it is to really stop going in one direction when you have a lot of momentum. But, I feel like
he could have laid up, though, there.
I feel like you could have jumped over him or tried to do something. I think it's one of those where this play is probably going to be something the NFL looks into to try to fix in the future to protect the defender but protect the quarterback in a situation like that. And I think, again, the biggest thing is also that play ended the game. That's just a rough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
That something like that, just ended a whole game. But, yeah, like I said, Eagles beat themselves. They fumbled too much. Dallas Goedert got a face mask. The refs didn't help out either.
That was a bad call.
That is one thing I think.
That was a really bad call.
Listen, I have a Commanders fan, and he's told me this as well. The refs realistically did the Eagles no favors last night as well. There was a lot of... It felt a little bit one-sided. I'm not the type that's going to blame the refs like that, though. But it is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Because...
It was a sloppy game, though, buddy.
Yeah. I saw a Barstool... Twitter guy, whatever, And I think he described it perfectly. It felt like one of those Madden games where it just seemed like you were not winning this game.
Yeah, you had to restart the Xbox for that.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's all I got for the Eagles. Also, score looked a little worse than it was. It wasn't a big we were down 6. So, and then it was like a lateral and they scored on the last play of the game. So, that's a little rough. Anyways, moving on to the next one. I don't know why I said Kate. I was going to say Casey Toole scored the touchdown. Eagles drafted him, just kind of funny.
Okay.
Yeah, Browns, they head into the bye week at 3-6. Watson returns next week against the Texans. Ooh. And you know what? I got a question for you. What should we expect from Deshaun Watson, who obviously hasn't played in I don't know why I wrote multiple weeks. I meant multiple years.
Okay.
2 years now.
What should we expect?
Well, he didn't play for pretty much all last year, and then obviously
he's going to be rusty coming out of the gate, I think. I think completion percentage will be down. He won't be, making the throws that he's supposed to make. But give him a few weeks. Give him, a month of football.
Yeah.
And then I think he gets back in the swing of things. He's still a very talented quarterback. It's just he hasn't played in a while, so I don't think he'll be great from the jump.
Yep.
But I think he can win them games.
Yep.
But I don't think right away. Give him time.
Yeah. I guess one thing to also just throw in there is listen, BenchWire, we talk sports. It's what we do. We talk about Deshaun Watson. We understand everything that happened with him. We obviously don't support it, but again, just kind of want to throw that in there. I feel like I've seen quite a bit of other podcasts that talk about that stuff, and people comment things like, why are you talking about him? And
it's because he's playing next week.
It is. It's because he's playing next week, and again, we cover the NFL, and unfortunately, he's in the NFL.
He is in the NFL, so we have to talk about him.
Yep. All right. Probably Steven's favorite segment.
Ooh, what is it?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Ooh, baby.
He's going to likely sign with the team within the next week or two. And, we got to figure out where's he going to go, right? You got the Giants, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the 49ers all in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Packers and Rams likely out because of their records.
Yes.
OBJ, he got his Super Bowl.
He does have a Super Bowl.
So I'm sure he wants to compete.
He wants to compete.
But
does he want to come home?
He wants the money.
Does he want to come home?
Yeah. And as much as I hate to say it, again, there's the Giants, the Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, 49ers. I personally have it down between two teams. The 49ers, because I believe he wanted to go there before, and the Giants.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning towards him going home.
I think he wants to come home. But will it happen?
Because I think that he easily could have signed with the Bills by now.
Oh, yeah.
Easily could have signed with the Chiefs by now. So I think he's like, yo, Giants, let's figure this out. I'll give you some time.
I don't think he's in football shape, according to himself. I think he said he's going to take the next few weeks to get into football shape.
You can still sign with a team, though.
Well, you can.
But
the Giants don't have the cap space to do it right now. They have to make some moves in order to create some money. Now, what will the Giants do if they do sign him?
I would go up
Will they sign him for a year?
It would probably be a year, and then you talk extensions of the offseason. Right now, I would go to Leonard Williams, and I'd say, hey, can I give you some of your contract or some of your money right now?
Yeah.
Right?
I do that for Galladay, too.
Exactly. I go to Galladay, be like, hey, Galladay, I'm going to give you your money now, all right? You're probably not going to be here next year.
Yeah, goodbye.
But we're going to give you some money now. It's going to open up some cap space to bring Odell.
I just hope he doesn't go to the Cowboys. That would just hurt my heart.
It would hurt me too. I don't want to see the Cowboys get somebody.
Why would he go to the team that he did the one-handed catch on? You can't do that.
Yeah,
that's just ugh. Now, someone said on Twitter he's waiting for the Giants Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. He said whoever wins that game, he's gonna go to that team. I'm like, no, that's not what he's waiting for. He's waiting to get
that's
healthy.
not what he's waiting for. And if you see him at the game, okay, he went to the Bills and Rams game.
Yeah,
he's probably not gonna sign with any of those teams.
I feel like the Bills is still an option.
It is still an option.
But the Rams, I think, are out of the picture.
Bills they're not doing the best. They're not doing the best to help their case right now.
Well, maybe they're missing a piece like Odell.
Yeah, but I think Odell wants to go to a team where he's going to be the number one. And I think Giants.
I don't think that is the case.
I don't know. I feel like Odell wants to go back to being a star. And guess what? You go to the Giants.
It's a great market to be a star in New York. I think he's grown up now, so I think he knows how to handle the media.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the, I guess, diva he once was back in the day.
Yeah, he's definitely changed.
He's definitely matured
a
lot.
When he had his child.
Yeah. Now he's a father.
Yeah, he's a father, which means he's like, all right, no more of that little kid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a dad.
If he plays with that kicking net again, we're gonna have problems.
It might hurt him.
Oh no.
All right. Real quick, before we get into buy or sell and then end this podcast, I'm going to quickly go through some key NFL injuries. There's not much to comment. I'm just going to kind of go through this so you guys can, stay up to date. Eagles star tight end Dallas Goedert. He is expected to miss a few weeks with a shoulder injury that he suffered on the missed face mask call. Likely out 3 weeks. I say that because he hasn't been put on the IR. So, again, if it's IR, that's 4 weeks. I think that they're thinking, definitely at this next game, he could be back the week after or the one after that. So, nothing to worry about for the Eagles. They got some depth. Jack Stoll, good blocker. I think Grant Alcantara will get a nice opportunity to make some plays. He's a good route runner. And he's also played with Ertz in college. So, they know. They got that chemistry already.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm personally, as an Eagles fan, excited to see what Grant can do. I like him. Colts star linebacker Shaquille Leonard, he had undergone back surgery and will miss the remainder of the season. Really sucks. He's such a good talent, but these past 2 years, it's been really rough injury-wise for him. Man. Eagles slot cornerback Avonte Maddox, who I just wanted to note is one of the more underrated players in the NFL. He's placed on the IR now, so he'll miss at least 4 games. Josiah Scott will take over for him in the slot. So Eagles should be fine. Josiah Scott could probably start on most teams. And, for the Broncos,
star receiver Jerry Jeudy
will take over.
My fantasy wide receiver was carted to the locker room in their game against the Titans with another ankle injury. This is the second ankle injury he's had. We don't know if he's going to miss time. But if you're a Broncos fan, we don't know the status of the game, of his injury, but I think it will come out, this week, like maybe tomorrow or something.
Look for the practice reports. You guys can find that out there. Then also another Broncos injury.
Yes. K'Wan Williams was also injured, placed on IR, will undergo a knee surgery to clean up...
Arthroscopic knee.
Yeah, I couldn't read that word. To clean up some loose bodies.
Yes, they are called loose bodies. That is a medical term.
Okay,
it means that there are things.
I'm learning medical stuff now that can, cause knee buckling, right? And he will miss at least 4 games, but I believe he's played pretty well for the Broncos this season, though. So it's another blow for them as well. But hopefully they can move on and figure it out.
Yeah, just another thing for them to try to get through.
Yeah.
A lot of adversity for the Broncos this season. Bears running back Khalil Herbert, he's been also placed on IR with a hip injury. He's going to miss at least 4 games. Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster was the recipient of a massive hit on Sunday. If you guys did not see that.
Yeah, I saw it. That was nasty.
Yeah, against the Jags. He suffered what seemed to be a concussion. He said on Instagram that that all is well and he will be back soon, baby. Which is a huge sign for the Chiefs.
Of relief.
Yeah. They can't afford to lose him. He's gotten better as the season's progressed, so that would have been a massive hit for them.
Yeah.
And then just a quick update. I said earlier I had an update for Cooper Kupp. He is being placed on injured reserve, and he will be getting surgery for a high ankle sprain. That's at least 4 games. All right, buy or sell. Let's get right to it. Number 1, there is no team to beat in the NFL this year. Me personally, I'm buying
There's no team to beat?
Yeah.
So there's no,
There's no top
dog?
No, I don't think there is.
I
I think there's a lot of good teams that are the contenders, but I don't think that there is a team that's if you beat them, you're going places. Because the Bills have been beat multiple times now. The only one you could maybe say is the Chiefs.
I would sell that because the team to beat are the ones we think are the top dogs. I would say
That comes down to how you interpret what I meant by team to beat.
Well, that's
I mean, like, the Eagles were pretty much, as they were undefeated, that would be the quote-unquote team to beat.
They're still the team to beat.
I guess.
They only lost one game. I would say the Chiefs are still a team to beat.
I just think this year in the NFL has been so weird that I feel like there is no team to beat yet.
I'm selling it, though, because I think the Eagles and the Chiefs, even though the Bills have lost 3, I still put them in that conversation. Yeah. But I think the Eagles and Chiefs are the teams to beat this year. Even though they lost, no one's perfect. So you can still have a team to beat.
Yeah.
So I'm selling it.
All right. Also, I lied. This might go to 40.
Uh-oh.
Number 2, the Vikings are finally legit.
They're finally legit?
I say finally because in the past years, it's been like, we can't tell.
I'll buy it.
I'm going to buy it, too.
I'll buy it.
I'm going to give them some respect.
Yes. I think with the new addition of their head coach, Kevin O'Connell, that has helped out Kirk Cousins in that offense greatly. Justin Jefferson is looking like the best receiver in football right now. Dalvin Cook has had one of his best years. And now Kirk Cousins...
Despite struggling, Dalvin Cook did.
Yeah. But Kirk Cousins, he's playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. He's winning them ball games. And you got to consider the Vikings a legit team. They beat the Bills. I know it was because of the fumble. But I think they're a legit team.
All right. Number 3, Justin Fields was wrongfully written off after a rough start to the season. I'm buying it.
I'm selling it. Like I said earlier, I don't think the way Justin Fields is playing is sustainable, and that will translate to wins. And I know the Bears are a dysfunctional organization, and I think with him being on that roster, I don't think that will...
So you don't think... So you think Fields can be good, but you think that because he's on the Bears, he's not going to...
Exactly.
So, okay, then I wouldn't say I sell this. I'd say I buy it, but I don't think that he's going to find success in the NFL because the Bears are
I would still sell it, though.
Awful franchise. I don't agree with that.
Tell me in the comments down below.
Yeah, tell us in the comments what you think. I think Justin Fields was wrongfully written off.
All he's doing right now is running all over defenses. I feel like once...
His passing stats have been good.
They've been good, but not... It's not...
Hold on, guys. I need to show this guy.
He needs to educate me here.
Yeah, but because you're a casual.
I am not a
casual. Do you see this? These were his last few games.
All right, how many of those are wins?
7 touchdowns, 1 interception, and look at the ratings.
How many of those are wins?
Huh?
How many of those are wins?
Competed literally to the final tick with the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Cowboys, again, competed to like the final tick with them. The Lions, they were leading it. Their defense collapsed. If they would win games, they've scored the points. Their defense has given up like 40 points a game, it feels like.
He can put up all those numbers, but it doesn't... It comes down to winning football games to me.
Bears fans, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
It comes to winning football games to me, and
if you expect Justin Fields to win with that team, you are delusional.
But if he's like... He should have beat the Lions, no? No?
He beat the Lions. His defense let him down.
Well, he needs to
beat the Lions.
He needs to put up more points.
Delusional. All right. The Panthers.
Hater.
Number 4, the Panthers should give Matt Corral a chance before drafting a quarterback. Sell,
because Matt Corral's not that good. If he was that good, he would be starting right now.
He has a season-ending injury that he suffered in the preseason, Steve.
Oh.
Casual, what the heck?
Casual. But
he would be starting right now, I promise you that.
I don't think so.
The way I look at it is if C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young is available, you take them. But you do not get a Will Levis or anything like that. If you have Matt Corral on the roster, you let him go next season.
I say Will Levis is better than Matt Corral.
I might puke.
You don't agree with that statement?
I like Matt Corral. I liked him out of Ole Miss last year.
More than Will Levis?
Yeah.
I think Will Levis is better than Matt Corral.
Matt Corral was really good at Ole Miss.
But Will Levis is better. I know he needs to
Again,
develop
listen, guys, I'm into the prospects. He isn't. He doesn't know. It's fine. I got it.
Will Levis is what? He's a top 5 quarterback in this draft
class. He's also
class,
like
correct?
25 years old.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter.
When you're trying to start a when you're in the position that the Panthers are in, where it's not I'm a quarterback away from competing, you want a very young quarterback that by the time you're ready to start competing, they'll be like 24. Levis will be 27.
I'm still selling it. Because I don't think he's that good.
Okay.
Agreed? You said sell
Well,
too.
I think Matt Corral could be good.
But you said sell too, though.
I said sell if C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young is available.
Well, they will be. So sell.
We don't know that.
What pick do they have right now?
Well, it depends what the Raiders do. And we'll get to that.
Ooh.
I think. No, we won't get to that.
We'll get to that on the next podcast.
All right, number 5. The Rams should consider blowing it up after this season.
So, consider blowing the whole team up?
Yeah.
No. They're a few pieces away, again, from being a good team. They need to build an offensive line in this offseason. They don't have that right now. They need another receiver other than Cooper Kupp.
I'm buying it.
Why?
Because they don't have the draft picks to try to find these offensive linemen and find the cornerbacks that they need and find the everything.
Agency.
Cap space.
They're good at cap
when you pay
space.
Aaron Donald, Stafford, Ramsey, and Kupp all of that money, you don't have a lot of space, which means you need to start drafting. I mean, that's how the NFL works. You pay your good players, and then you start replacing the other people.
You can't blow up the nucleus that won you the Super Bowl.
I'm not exactly saying I think they should, but I think that they really are going to run into a situation where they should.
I'm selling it. I think they should not blow it up. They're just a few pieces away from being that team again.
I don't agree.
Offensive line.
I don't agree.
Another receiver in there and some corners. That can be done in one off season.
I don't think that they will be able to find the cap space for that, so I'm going to buy that. Let us know what you think in the comments about that one.
Sell.
Number 6, the Saints need to give up on mid-quarterbacks. Consider making a blockbuster trade for a young quarterback. Buy.
Now, what young quarterback?
It could probably be...
Who would be in the conversation?
All right, well, let's think it's a young quarterback. I think it's either blockbuster for, like, draft pick to move up.
So you want them think about drafting a quarterback?
Either or make.
They could have.
They could.
You know, the Eagles have their draft pick, so they can't. But who could they acquire? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, let's think. Right, some young quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Could they somehow see if the Ravens are not going to bring back Lamar?
Huntley? Oh.
Tyler. What a blockbuster.
Hey.
But we've seen a lot of stuff with maybe the Ravens aren't really considering signing Lamar.
I think they're going to sign Lamar.
I've seen a lot of stuff saying that they are. It's something that they are considering. They have not been like, we're going to go do it, because they would have done it by now. So, yeah. And then let's think another young quarterback. Blockbuster.
Do they steal
Taylor Heineke.
Do they steal Trey Lance from the Niners?
That could be one.
Just steal him. And then the Niners get another quarterback that they believe in. Maybe Trey Lance isn't that guy.
Maybe he isn't.
Maybe
they could make a blockbuster trade for Trace McSorley. Don't laugh at that.
That's funny. Haha.
I think they could go ahead and... Okay. I think that they could call the Packers and look at Jordan Love. I think he had a lot of potential still.
I don't think Jordan Love's hit. If he was, he would be playing by now.
No, he wouldn't, because the guy that's in front of him happens to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
But if Jordan Love was that good, they could have moved off of Rodgers, not paid Rodgers, built a roster around
They
Love.
paid Rodgers because he just won back-to-back MVPs, and you don't let that walk away.
Okay. I agree with that. But
you're going to buy the...
I'm going to buy the Saints need to give up on mid-quarterbacks, yes.
All right. Number 7, the Falcons should start Desmond Ridder going forward. I'm buying. Listen, Mariota,
not good.
I appreciate what he has done for them.
He's serviceable, but he's nothing special.
Yes, let Desmond Ridder go so you guys know or can figure out if you need to look to get one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because Desmond Ridder was a guy who, again, could have been a first and second round pick if there was a quarterback needed team that like really needed a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they should let Ridder get some chances.
I do too.
And don't just put him in the final 3 games of the season. Like, let him go now, because then you'll start seeing if he could, develop a little bit.
Yeah, I would so start him now.
Yep. Number 8.
You gotta see.
Yeah, with number 8, with what looks to be a top 5 pick in the draft. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there's the Raiders. How we
with,
doing?
With what looks to be a top 5 pick in the draft, the Raiders should draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm buying it.
I'm gonna buy it too, and it's gonna be a weird one because you don't want it with Derek Carr.
He's good and all.
I look at it like the Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers situation. You bring in a young quarterback, let him learn from Carr, but the difference here is Derek Carr is an Aaron Rodgers.
He's not Aaron Rodgers.
So when it's time for Carr to move on, he's going to move on, and this young guy can step in.
I feel like they're going to get rid of Carr at the end of the season. I feel like his time with the Raiders is done, and maybe, I know he's an older quarterback, but maybe he's the guy that goes to the Saints.
Could be.
But
could be.
I think the Raiders should definitely look at a quarterback in the draft if they have a top 5 pick, because they need to, like, refresh the locker room and build around a new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to move off of Carr, though, after this season, but
we'll see.
We'll see. Number 9, Jerry Jeudy will be traded in the offseason. I could see it.
Buy, because if he was in trade talks
I'm
at the
gonna
trade
buy it
deadline,
too.
And he's a guy that hasn't been consistent for them, and he just needs to change the scenery, I think you do it, and if you get what you want in return, you do it.
Yeah. Number 10, let's end it off with a bang. Calvin Ridley, that acquisition by the Jags is going to launch them into the playoffs next year.
So
I'm going to sell it too, but I do think that they are going to begin to win
them
games.
in the playoffs. I like the acquisition, but I don't think it'll make them anything special. You still need to build more for your team.
But I think the Jags
They are
going in the right direction, and I think next year they can sneak into the playoffs. For sure.
They should definitely be a wild card team by next year. I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all we got, everybody.
that was still long.
It was long.
But it was shorter than the last one.
It was shorter than the last one.
This one.
And it's not even that. We covered a lot. So this is not one of those where you guys are sitting here and listening to us ramble about something for 10 minutes and you're like, oh my God, can they move on? We moved on.
We moved on. We had plenty of topics.
And let us
know your opinions about all of them.
Then let's go back real quick, because I said 25, 35 minutes. Let's start 35, 45. But they're going to be quick.
Okay.
It's going to be, here's this information, bang. Here's this information, bang.
It'll be a fast burn. It won't be a slow burn.
Yeah, so like you can, play some video games while listening to this or something, right?
Exactly.
Or go by. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe. We got Instagram and Twitter that you guys can follow. Our Twitter is finally being... Yes, sir.
Twitter. Yeah. I posted something on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we did record today.
Steve is... I
got the password.
So he's going to be the one that runs our Twitter. And TikTok. I will be running the YouTube and Instagram. So
I've run some of the Instagram.
We're set up.
I got the IG Reels.
Well, it's technically still TikTok because you literally just repost TikTok.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Regardless, though, we got our roles. We are ready to roll.
We're figuring it out.
And you know what? You guys are going to get a live reaction from Steve right here.
What is this?
Because it has finally been done. We go here. Look what I got on this laptop. Look what is finally on here.
Our top 10 quarterbacks.
All of the templates, and they will be going right to Photoshop.
Ooh, we got Photoshop. Oh, we going to be cooking up some good content for y'all.
So, I finally don't have to bring out my dinosaur of a laptop to get stuff done.
Yeah, we got the MacBook. We got the Apple products. All right?
And it's an easy edit? Right here.
Ooh, easy edits. I like to see it. But if you guys want to see more, do all that stuff that Matt just said. And we'll catch y'all later. BenchWire. Out.